Right, so I was trying to figure it out. I think I already got it as well. Like, I actually got the solution. I don't know why. This is okay. Wait, didn't... It should be open, right? Yeah. Let's see. So what I was doing, I was entering in... I think I already got this wrong as well. It shouldn't be ID March. It should be calendar March. March. Right. So it should be right over here. Instead of ID Mar, it should be calendar Mar. And then I went on to put in like 17. Let's start from here. I know it is like, what? No. It can't be on the first try. I still don't know what I did. Well, I got it on like 19 just before now, when I was not recording. I'm recording, right? I'm recording, okay, fine. Let's see about the little March. Marcius. Actually, it's still March, of course, because we're in the Roman calendar. So even if it's March, we're 80 XVI Cal April when we're in March. Let's see if we so we're in ID March. We've read this one. Then we go to S.P.Q.R. LG. And then we have nothing. Fine. Did I already read this? Yes, I did already read this. Let's see. I might just have to reread this. I just don't know what to do with the last episode because I was just literally getting nothing done. So might as well delete that and not upload that. Acta diurna. No need for panic. The grievous accident of Vesta's sacred fire gone out the day before must not disturb public order and tranquility of minds. The inquiry conducted by the competent officers established beyond reasonable doubt that the episode had nothing to do whatsoever with the gods and their designs or the alleged doings of a non-existent barbarian saboteur, despite the widespread rumors to the contrary. It was found that the mishap owed only to the gross negligence of the Vestal Vilvia, who was assigned at the time to watch the fire, failed in her duty, and was received appropriate chastisement at the hands of her rightful superior. At the palace, Prefect Papinian wants me to step up my investigative pace now that Calamidas has struck again at the Temple of Vesta. Can't have these attacks continue on the sacred symbols of Rome, he droned. He made his usual threats about giving the case to someone else, but I suited him and even managed to get some installment on my fee in gold. He's right though, I must work harder to find this Calamidas. Rome may not have much time left. Confusion. The sacred flame in the Temple of Vesta was extinguished. They relit it quickly, but there was panic anyway. No one knows how the Vestals light the holy fire. Even I don't know how that. Since they cannot borrow the impure flame from another fire, they must focus the rays of the sun. But their precise method is a secret. I was most disturbed by the news, especially when rumors flew that it was the Calamidas trying to destroy Rome who was responsible. Combine this with Lucius's questions, Xanthus's disappearance, and that strange document I found, and it adds up to more turmoil than I want to confront. Yeah, so literally, what you do here with this thing is you set it to the calendar March by sliding the moon. I think this has to do with the Earth and the circulation around the sun. Basically, calendar March. That's what you want to have. And then you want to set it to the correct value here. I don't know why this correct value is something. So what I was doing earlier to get it is I was actually having... Because I thought it was 17 or so to open this lid. But I think what you do is you just crank it multiple times. And now it's actually here in the middle. Right? And then you advance it one more. Let's see. Crank it again. They'll just keep on going. Right? I think it has to be on the top. I'm just not sure how I did that before. I just got it now, like first try, because I was like on 16, and I was like, oh hey, 16, it's the right answer. Yoo-hoo. It has to be lower than this one. Right? Maybe. Let's go for 18 now. I mean, it is a bit of trial and error. I don't know if I can get this thing to go to the top. Of course, now it doesn't work. Like, I just figured out a method that I tried, and it worked the first try, and then I was gonna try the same method again, but then I just got the solution right away. I just don't get this. I mean, there has to be some solution. I mean, I don't know if this one will open again. I think that 16 is now the right solution, but I don't know why 16 is the right solution. Oh, just why is this game so weird? Now we actually lit the flame, huh? Yeah, that's what we do. That's right. Epic gameplay. Now we can actually see this as well. So we get this bottle. I think this is a bottle of poison water or something like that. That's a skull. ... Panic strikes when the flame is doused. ... And when the water is poisoned. Terror. ... Veil of potion. It has an S on that one. This might be a potion from Sybil. But that might be more just to get Sybil suspicious. We can get in here, right? I think we can. But how? Oh, this is this another one of those things I have to look up? Let me just give it a quick second here. So what do we do? I think this is one of those parts in the video as well, which is just cut out. So you put this thing on the fire. I think he clicked on the horse, but that doesn't do anything. Click the fire. Get the potion, get the skull, get the note. Right. Click on the note. Yeah, he just doesn't show how you get in there, which is quite quite unfortunate. Also, that I should not minimize this thing. So how do I get in here? I mean, it has to open at some point somehow, right? That's what you would think. How do I open this thing? Might also have to do with the situation here somehow. No? Not yet. Let's see what we have to read here. A bad day. After rising too early, I was faced with families crisscrossing the city as they took their sons, who had assumed the toga virilis, to be received by Jupiter. I remember the day I assumed the toga of manhood. I had to perform the rituals alone without my father. He made some excuse. I bought the special honey cake alone. And as I watched the fragment offered up to Liber burn in the fireplace, I knew I was truly on my own in this world. Right, that was a bad day. 2 promises. I don't know why this font is differently now. Volvia was on duty when the flame was extinguished. She is too diligent to violate one of her 2 sacred vows. It was simply misfortune that the flame went out, but the flame died nevertheless. A Vestal Virgin takes 2 vows. 1, to guard the sacred flame, and 2, to never abandon holy duties for a man's love, to never commit adultery, to be forever chaste. Business booms. Word has spread quickly that my prediction about the sacred flame came true. I have had clients all day, from the first hour to the day to well into the night. Love potions, palm readings, astrological charge, beauty powders, predictions about everything. And they pay and pay and pay. So this is a very telling thing as well. Like, maybe Sybil actually was the one to get the flame doused. Just because it's so good for business, right? I mean, you can see some of these potions. Sent Crixus to purchase the usual potions and anything that new that catches his eyes for special occasions. There's something special from Dura or Europus I want him to look for. There was also the on this bottle here, on this picture, is an S, which does indicate Sybil. Why is this closed off though? That's what I want to know. How do I get in here? I mean, you would think that this will open somehow, but But how? I don't know how, because it literally also doesn't show in the video. Neither does it really how or why this is. This seems to be the right solution again. Like the dial was spinning. It's not like this is changed at all. I think going to the left here or to the right is just going away, which is doing much of nothing for me at all. Yeah, this is just closed. I don't know how I can get in here. Maybe it is with time that it will just open on its own. We'll just have to see. If not, we'll have to figure it out some other way. New work. I took a job for the day as a butcher in the meat market in the Psyllium. I left work with sesterces in my pouch. The stench of raw meat gave way to scents of an early spring as I walked by the gardens of the wealthy. I enjoyed the afternoon until I passed the barracks of the mounted guard that Severus built. I saw the horses cramped in their stables and the insignia of the soldiers' tunics. From butchers of animals to butchers of men in a moment's stroll. Visions of power. My thoughts returned to Ostia and the position of prefect of grain supply. I am now called Vir Egergius, a distinguished man. If I were prefect Anone, I would be Vir Perfectissimus. I would travel to Ostia often. I would watch the ships with their tiers of oars cutting through the waters in exquisite precision, the wind whipping through the sails, as all the world comes to Rome by way of the sea. ... I'm not so good in reading anymore because I've already
Fulvia was stripped of her tunic, and a guard held her at each arm. Then another guard beat her with a rod on her back and along her legs. He beat her and beat her and beat her. Her cries mingled with the grunts of his effort. Her flesh opened and the blood poured onto the floor of the palace. I felt ill as they delivered her into my arms.
Oh no. Yeah, as I was saying, I was already recording before this and I was just trying to figure out... this is such a weird thing. It's just such a hidden thing as well. Is there somewhere that I can just click which does something? Like, this is also kind of weird how there's like a square around this node. But I'm pretty sure that's just nothing, it's just a visual bug. So yeah, as I was saying, I was just recording before this, I was trying to figure out how does even this redirection of light works, and then I finally figured it out, I thought, and then I didn't. Let's see, what is our next course of action? Like, for me, I want to keep advancing time and just reading the diaries and stuff. I also want to get in here, And then there is also the notes that I have of the things. So when we're in April, we'll have our next like thing. I think a temple will open then. I don't know if it has much to do with the story itself, but we'll see. Another secret. No one knows how the vessels relight the flame in their temple, but they did it quickly when it was unexpectedly extinguished. A young priestess has been blamed for some reason I don't understand for allowing the flame to go out, as if she can control the winds. This young girl was beaten in front of the emperor until she bled. Romans should be called barbarians, not their enemies to the Norse. So this kind of tells me as well, like, oh hey, it was the wind. It doesn't say, oh, I did it. So I'm kind of tempted to believe that Sybil was the one that actually causes this calamitis, which is weird. A decision. I heard a young Vestal was beaten for allowing the sacred flame to go out. I absolutely refused to put Stella in that jeopardy, no matter the status involved. I informed Pomponia in no uncertain terms that Stella was not to join the Vestal Order. Pomponia whimpered, but I told her of my hopes regarding Ostia, and she perked up. Tomorrow I return to my work. Enough of this family inanity. A wounded sister. While the other vessels prayed over Volvia, I cleaned and bandaged her wounds. A Greek female medica in the forum suggested a mild anodine made of vinegar. I fear Volvia will lose a leg to gangrene. Gangrene. Whatever you call it, you know what it is. Calamitis again. There was an attempted break-in at the Regia tonight. Prefect Papinian ordered some of the guards to wake me up and investigate. It is not something I will look forward to again. Members of the Praetorian Guard banging down the door and rousting me from my couch. All was well at the Regia when I arrived. Witnesses reported hearing the shields of Mars clanging in the night, but no one saw anyone run out. Maybe it was the wind. Maybe it was calamitis. Gifts of the East. I have sent Crixus to Ostia again, this time in a private hire cart, both ways. I have run out of all my potions and powders, and I cannot make them myself fast enough. I miss that ornate ceramic flask from Dura Europus. Its contents served me well. I mean, it's another clue that Sybil was definitely behind this one. Just for her own business purposes. What's this? I think we skip one here. That's cool, you can actually click there as well. We didn't skip one though. A walk in the night. Couldn't sleep, so I went out into the city night. I have made so many low-life contacts as an investigator that I no longer fear the dark streets. If some murderer lurks in the shadows, or some robber waits around a corner, It is more than likely that we know each other, and he will let me pass. I sensed I was being followed at one point and imagined it was Calamitis. Eternal scars. I cannot sleep. Also, because Lucius also couldn't sleep. I wander the halls of the House of the Vestals. I hear Vulvia's cries even when she sleeps. This is no longer the life for me. I know that now. I look upon Vulvia's gentle face as she sleeps, and then I see the wounds along her body that will mark her forever. It is wrong that she can never be forgiven, that she will never be able to forget. Which are two different things. Villains in the dark. I am Sybil. Beware trespassers in the night. The city streets crawl under the darkened sky. The stars see all and tell all. You, halt, I see you. Just before I woke, I saw him creeping in the night streets. A shadow, and then he was gone. Was it a dream? A premonition? Or was he there, standing by the rostra, predicting doom for Rome? Wait, predicting? Or causing? The Roman night. I wandered the side streets along the edges of the forum. Starlight and some moonlight lit my way. There were occasional oil lamps helping me along. I could hear an animal cry, and then a baby, and then... Was that an old woman gasping? I saw Lucius the investigator wandering in a daze, and I followed him for a while. I think he sensed my presence. Word from the Emperor. The Emperor won't ask after Vulvia. He won't discuss my future with me, whether or not I am to remain a Vestal. Yet he sends an invitation to a banquet for the festival of Luna at the end of the month. I will go only because Vulvia is better. The Medica from the forum examined her. She is out of danger and will not lose her leg. Literally nothing happening this day. I think this is also like the official disclaimer. I didn't read this one yet. I had this down so I couldn't see that was popping up. The official disclaimer. The so-called attempt to break into the Regia itself is heresy. There was not reported in the previous issue simply because nothing of the sort actually happened. There indeed occurred a little disturbance during the second vigil 2 nights ago, caused by 2 drunken slaves shouting insults at the guards and promptly removed by the latter from the scene, be dealt with in suitable manner. In truth, we should better appreciate the fact that no other criminal offenses were recorded this entire month, not even a single fire, which testifies to the success of the martial law in further enhancing the safety of our lives. Vivit Juventus. Today is the glorious occasion when the Romans youth celebrate their manhood by changing to the alescent praetexta to the toga virilis. Those families should be certainly commended who faithfully follow the steps of our ancestors and choose this very festival of the gods Liber to proclaim their sons' adulthood instead of their birthday, as it happens all too often. One recalls the experience of particular joy when, on the same date, 3 and 2 years ago, respectively, our August Emperor introduced his by then mature sons Antoninus Augustus and Geta Caesar to the Senate and the people, bound by brotherly love as his Air designate. I think I read this one then. There's the non-existent, definitely read that one. So we're up. We're up to date. A cure. A full day at the baths. I spent the morning going back and forth between the hot plunge baths and the frigidarium. Then I played a ball game in the gymnasium and had a massage. After a small meal at midday, I had a sweat in the dry heat of the sudatorium. Then I swam in the natatio before returning to the caldarium for a hot plunge bath. I will sleep soundly tonight. I am utterly exhausted. I am Sybil. A wish granted. The Emperor sent word from the palace. I am invited to entertain at a banquet during the festival of Luna at the end of the month. I believe I can thank my vial from Dura Europus for this. Because that vial was used like to get into this temple or some sorts. This is still closed. I'm just confused why this is closed. But who knows? Definitely I don't. A day off. I walked through the Velabrum, the low ground between the capital and the Palatine. I was told it was originally swampland. Here between the Visus Tiscus and the Visus Lugarius is one of the busiest centers of Rome. It carries all traffic from the Forum to the river Tiber. I watched the ships down by the Tiber. I could see the oars beautiful in their precision as they cut the water in perfect rhythm. I looked closely, but I could not see the oarsmen hidden away, straining at their task. An anniversary. It was 25 years ago, today, that my infant son, Marcus, died. He was 3 years old. I found him dead in his crib, a pale blue pallor on his face. He would even been the greatest builder of buildings this empire had ever seen. Pomponia and I were not husband and wife for many, many years after Marcus's death, but eventually we put our sorrow away and Stella was born. I dedicate my new edifice to the emperor, but I built it for my son. And now back to my sketches. Nothing happening this day. Nothing happening this day. Let's check this again. I don't know if this will open at a certain date. I kind of doubt it will. Oh, what are we looking for here as well? The Pride ID April, right? Then we need to be at some point. Man, it has no use to go in here again. Let's see, the Aquadolls bringing the water being poisoned. Dry wooden buildings afire. Their cherished symbols, the standards, the palladium, the sacred flame. I mean, he does... I'm pretty sure this notice of Xanthus, so he does mention the sacred flame, but I'm pretty sure that Sybil was the one that was just doing that one. Ugh, I hate that stupid. I hate fake doors. So where was it again? The when it's Pride ID April, I should be Temple Antonianus, which is like the Emperor thingy. I mean, who knows? I should check the map, to be honest. Let's see. Clivus, Gordian's office, Forum. This is so weird. Right? There's this door. There's also this door, which is completely blocked off for ever going there. Let's see, this is Temple of Caesar. I haven't been in the Temple of Caesar. Which is to be understood, or maybe not, because I can actually go here. Well, not inside yet, but I've not made these steps before. Like this one and this one. I'm just looking for the Temple of the Antoninas, whatever it's called. Temple of Vesta, which has a lot of spots there. House of the Vestal Virgins, which is this one. It is interesting. I didn't know that this was the House of the Vestal Virgins when I was first here. This one is closed. I mean, you could imagine things. Doesn't matter. So where's this temple thingy? Villanova. East Forum. Is it this one? Yeah. So weird how the map doesn't say this. Right? I mean, I guess it does say it, but it didn't put a dot there for me to actually see, oh hey, you can go here. Let's see, next day. Are you kidding with me? It's already been that day. A purchase, what does it even mean? So I literally just... Well, I didn't skip it, I guess. It's not calendar April, it's ID April. So we'll see. What do we have here? Let's see, last of March. Everyone has something to say here, which is weird. So let's read about Lucius, what he has to say. A surprise, to my shock and enjoyment, I was invited to the palace for a banquet celebrating a festival. Severus made a pompous toast that included his supposed father, Marcus Aurelius, but that made the evening worthwhile. What made the evening worthwhile was a murder on the slope of the Palatine that forced the emperor to order me to escort home Verania to the Vestalis Maxima. We rode in her litter, and I sat very close to her. I never noticed her beauty before, or her mind, or her wit. I felt as if I was not alone for the first time in my life. The Festival of Luna. Tonight I avoided the Emperor instead of vice versa. There was a murder in the back street, and Papinian insisted Lucius escorted me home. As we went in my litter toward the house of the vessels, we talked. Our thoughts and secrets tumbled forth. I asked him to visit the temple with me. We talked away the night in the light of the sacred flame. Another night out, I hid in the shrubbery by the entrance to the palace and watched the luxurious litters arrive with guests for the Festival of Luna banquet. To many Romans, this is still a solemn festival of the dead, but of course not to the emperor and his guests. It is a time for them to gorge themselves on seafood and fatted game. I will soon gorge myself on them. Haha, got him. A night at the palace. Julia Domna, the emperor's wife and my fellow countrywoman, was ill and could not attend the banquet. I would have liked to meet her, but there were other distractions. Food, wine, people from everywhere in the empire. I read palms and interpret dreams. The emperor himself was asking me about a dream when he was interrupted by the report of a murder near the palace. Creating. Had a good night's sleep filled with dreams of the harbor at Ostia. The Fabri Navalis worked with their adzes on the curved forms of the ship hulls. Soon there was a sea-going ship where there had just been scattered materials and men with tools. Ships and buildings. Something out of nothing. Harmony out of discord. Good guy, Gordian. A mere corpse. The Festival of Luna ended yesterday night with a banquet on the Palatine. Nobody was unduly bothered by the corpse found on the slope of the hill, far away from the imperial residence. The official statement says that the body seems to be one of the slaves who misbehaved at the door of the Regia a few days ago and escaped from jail, where they were sent after flogging. It seems reasonable to assume that the fellow was killed by his own mate in result of some brawl. We were given an assurance that the perpetrator will be apprehended within hours and summarily executed. A new friend. Perhaps I went too far in sharing with Lucius the other night, but I was so overjoyed to find fresh companionship. Showing him how we light the sacred flame was maybe not the best idea, but we were of one mind all evening, and it seemed unfair not to hold up my end. He told me stories of his investigations and opened up my curiosity considerably. There is a world out there, and it is right here in Rome. Let's actually go back here to the see if this is actually already opened. I don't think it will be. I think there's some kind of a mechanism that I need to do to open this thing, but I don't know what it is. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It would be really fun to go in there, Bo, but maybe it is also a time thingy. We'll have to just keep checking. So I guess for now I'm gonna save and goodbye. And that should be it for today.